Hi, welcome to our math. Today I'm doing a series of videos on standard deviation, empirical rule, and normal distributions. In a normal distribution, what percent of the data lie in the following? All right, so before I'm going to even begin to answer these questions, I am going to do, a normal distribution looks like this. Usually it's a lot taller. And we have our mean right here. And the mean is the 50%. And then we have standard deviations. Standard deviation. And the standard deviations kind of radiate out. And most of the data is within 3 standard deviations. Precisely 68% happens between the first standard deviation. 95% is in the first 2 standard deviations, and 99.7% happens in the first 3. Well, if we break 68 in half, we get 34 and 34. If we take 95, subtract 68, divide it in half, we end up with 13.5% here and 13.5% here. If we take 99.7, subtract 95, divide it in half, right here we end up with 2.35%, and right here with 2.35%. So this is kind of a way to help understand what percent of the data falls in each of the standard deviations from the mean. So this is our 50 percentile mark. So half of the data should be below the mean and half should be above the mean. Mean means middle in this case. Usually it's median, but the way standard deviation and the normal distribution works, half the data falls above the mean and half the data falls below the mean. All right, next, how much of the data is more than 2 standard deviations below the mean? So if we go 2 standard deviations below, and we want to know how many are more than 2 standard deviations below, we're looking at, here's our 50th percentile, more than 2 standard deviations. Well, this was the 35, this is the 13.5, so we have 50% plus 35 plus 13.5. And if we add all of this together, we get 98.5%. Sorry, this should be a 4. This should be a 7. 97.5%. Less than 1 standard deviation above the mean. So for this one, there's the mean, 1 standard deviation, and we want less than 1. This is 34 again, so less than 1, it's the 50 plus 34, so this is 84%. So it's the 50, 34, we want everything that's less than 1 standard deviation. And for this last question, it says between 2 standard deviations below the mean and 1 above. So we have our mean here. We go 2 standard deviations below, 1 above. So this one's 34, this one's 34, and this one's 13.5. We just add those together, 13.5 plus 34 plus 34. and we get 81.5%. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.